Let's roll. Let's go. Watch out. Sniper grenade out. I need help. Incendiary out. Roger that. Throwing fire.
Hello guys.
I go B. Szymon, to jest mapa Tero czy Antytero?
To jest mapa Tero.
Move it, move it. Go, go, go! Throwing a grenade. Decoys out. Grenade. Bomb has been planted. Deploying flashbang. Terrorists win. Let's go, people. Grenade out. Decoy. Throwing smoke. Throwing a grenade. Decoy. Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win. This is our day. Throwing a grenade. Incendiary. has been planted. Terrorists win. We're wasting time. Let's go. Fire in the hole. Bomb has been planted. Defusing the bomb. Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win. Move it, move it. Cover this area. Flashbang. Incendiary out. Incendiary. Grenade out. Terrorists win. Let's go. Grenade.
Ебать, твари бога, даже не в меня стреляла, охуеть. Что ж так не берет-то?
Laying down smoke.
Ты тормоз.
Terrorists win.
Тупорылый, блядь.
I am planting the bomb. Bomb has been planted. I'm throwing smoke. Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win. Let's go. Terrorists win. They shall regret this day. Grenade! I'm throwing flashback! Throwing a flashback! go, my brothers. Smoke! Grenade! Flashback! Flashback! Throwing flashback! We must move. Grenade! I'm throwing a flashback. I am blending. We will defeat the mercenaries. Flashback. Throwing fire. Throwing fire. I'm throwing smoke. Grenade. Flashback. Blending. Bomb has been planted. Come on, let's go. Throwing a flashback. I'm throwing a flashback. Hold here. Smoke. Grenade. Terrorist win.
Конченый читак, блядь.
It's one of the up and coming, if that's appropriate, players, at least names. It's more a name than play, you know, earning your stripes and such. Maybe he'll make history at this major. Remains to be seen as we move through the qualifier. Liquid now taking the lead versus Tyloo. And the money's awkward for Tyloo in this round. DD with $350 because he saved his weapons. Some money will be spent on pistols, but I think it's going to be down to DD to try and...
Ну, блядь.
Давай запускайся, сука.
Let's roll. Take care of yourself. Sniper! I need help here!
Бомба, блядь.
Flashback.
Be clear, блядь.
А, клея.
Сука, ламерия.
Let's go. Throwing a flashback. Smoke. Bomb has been planted. I'm throwing a flashback. Grenade. Grenade. They will not stop the bomb now. We must move. Throwing a flashback.
Ты долбоёб.
Flashback.
пидорас, блядь. Рукожопый, нахуя такие флеши кидать, блядь, дебил?
Forward. I'm throwing a flashbang. Flashbang. Grenade. I'm throwing smoke. Smoke.
Может бомбу поставите, дауна?
Planting.
Сука, синий, ты дебил, под тобой, блядь.
Get ready. It is going to explode. We shall rule the day. And where is everyone? I'm throwing a flashbang. I'm throwing smoke. Let's go. Let's go. Very good. That next three. Planting. Terrorists win. Bomb has been planted. Come on, let's go. I'll wait here. Terrorists win. Let's go, my brothers. We've dropped the bomb. Grenade. Throwing a flashback.
Блять, да кикните его, заебали вы, дауны.
Terrorists win. We will defeat the mercenaries. Cover this area. Affirmative. I shall stay here. Grenade! Grenade!
Сити, блядь.
I am planting the bomb.
Дебил. Сука, я хуеюсь. Блядь, и кофе кончился.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win. We will defeat the mercenaries. What do you see? Flashback. Grenade. Three mercenaries left. Only 2 men left. Monster supported us.
Сука, долбоёб, блядь.
Planting. Bomb has been planted. Smoke! I'm throwing a flashbang. Terrorists win. Checking our start point. Let's go, let's go! I'm throwing a grenade. Smoke! Grenade! Check in. Flashback. Throwing fire!
Бокс, 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 бокс.
Grenade!
Бокс крысит.
Throwing fire! Throwing a flashbang! Terrorists win. Let's go, my brothers. What is happening? men left. I am planting the bomb. Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win. We are going to do this. Form up. Let's go. Defusing the bomb. Way to be, team. Counter-terrorists win. This is what we trade for. Fire in the hole. Throwing smoke. Throwing fire.
ебаный лагучий пидорас.
Grab your gear and let's go. Laying down smoke. All clear. Bomb has been planted. That makes 3. Sniper. Now. Deploying flashbang. I'm defusing the bomb. Who wants some more? Counter-terrorists win. Let's go, let's go. Flashbang. I'm blind. Watch out, sniper. Grenade. Throwing fire.
Что?
Throwing smoke. Throwing flashbang. Bomb has been planted. has been planted.
We're wasting time. Let's go. Throwing smoke. Grenade out. Flashbang. Throwing a grenade. We're clear. Grenade out.
Counter-terrorists win.
This is our day. Grenade. Silence. I have eyes on the enemy. I think I heard something. I need assist.
Bomb has been
Throwing fire. Diffusing.
terrorists win.
Let's get this done. Smoke. Waiting here. Grenade out. Get ready, I see them. I need help. That makes 3 left.
Terrorists win.
Let's get this over with. Throwing smoke. Laying down smoke. Grenade out. Stay here. Grenade out. At the entry point. 3 guys left. Deploying flashbang.
Counter-terrorists win.
Let's go, people. Laying down smoke. Incendiary. Area secure.
Counter-terrorists
Let's
win.
go. We defeated them.
Towards Banana, so it seems it's either a split of the B bomb site or a complete fake coming in, but we've already got Bentet rotating through towards Speedway position, so we'll see how this plays out for the T's. I don't know if this will be heard by the CTs.
Oh, it looks like Bentet just heard just in the nick of time there. It's times where I gets 1 frag at least. That's actually an okay result. That's workable as ED's challenged by Paul. Gets one. Oh, I think he got a dig there onto Elige through the smoke. I don't think he knows, but that's a huge amount of damage done by DD. Mo trying to finish them off now with the AWP. Somebody coming in as well from the side. And that's going to be another round for Tai Lu. The B split did not work.
Yeah, it's a really nice read from Tai Lu, positioning themselves in the correct areas to deal with that push. And the smoke's down at the front of the site. Just ended up being the death knell for Liquid in that round. Tai Lu take a lead moving into the second half. It's Tai Lu's turn to be on the T side now, which means they can dictate the pace with their lead. What do Liquid do in response to that? We expect aggression towards the Banana area. Double orbs from Liquid, Nitro with AWP.
And as one of the stronger teams, this is a really big result. This would be an insanely good result for Tai Lu, and it would increase their chances so dramatically, I think, should they be able to win this. As you know, 3 wins and you're through, and 3 losses and you're done. So this would certainly help them. We'll see though. There's still a lot of play to be had, and that's a nice boost there. The flick from JDM is strong as they fall back and away. Tai Lu though looking to respond quickly as they actually push the smoke. JDM on these angles is just scanning for these players. Can't quite find one just yet, but he might get a shoulder here from Bentet relatively soon. The grenade comes out. They might push him because they saw the trajectory. They knew he was close. Very fast frag there. Stanislaw forced to action. Gets himself one before the smoke blooms. A 3 versus 4 situation is what Tai Lu are left with.
3 of the 4 for the CTs on the A site. DD's got to be careful. If he pushes through, he is surely done, as there is a player with an off angle on the balcony position. DD, they will hear him on fire as well. You see Twist having a look just in case, but not overextending too much. The smoke will waste some time. There's still a minute on the clock for Tai Lu, so they can relax. You see Mo, he's got the bomb and he's in short on his own, playing for picks, and he lands one and manages to escape as well. What the hell's going on?
And he spots Stanislaw too, giving up his previous positions. Twist now, he's really the X factor in this round. This off angle is so strong. We've seen him get triple kills here multiple times in the past. can it be this round as well? There's already one. They know that he's there, or he could have dropped off. CTD checking for it. Now he drops off, and that's the power of this position. You get a frag and drop off, and the instant repositioning there, and that's going to be Twist saving the round. It's that position is the only position I've seen just repeatedly on A, where Tyloo have so much trouble dealing with it. I don't think I've seen it one time where they've actually been able to answer it well.
Yeah, and I guess they couldn't identify Tyloo that there were so many players towards the A site, but it was mad. Mo just in short on his own, just crab walking with the bomb, picking off a player, then managing to get back to the top of short. And I thought, what are they going to rotate? What are they going to do? But it didn't work out for them. 17-17. It's hard not to root for Tyloo because they're the underdogs. No, they come from Chinese CS where crazy things happen. We've seen it ourselves. And they're really putting up a big fight here. The double orbs continue for Team Liquid onto Nitro and JDM. Tyloo with a full buy with 5 AKs, all the grenades they want. Tyloo have 1 tactical pause remaining. We are soon back into things.
Right, well, yeah, 17-17 indeed. Double orbs, fun times ahead, I'm sure. That early pickoff from JDM with the boost on mid last round was pretty stellar. Ooh, that's a very deep incendiary. God damn. Throwing it all the way from top mid, I think. Interesting. It's an interesting incendiary to throw from CT's perspective because you don't really get anything from it, right? Because you get it on the slope, like you delay them a few seconds, but then it just take the positions as per normal, and you yourself have not gained anything positionally for it. So a curious early use of an incendiary. Either way, Tyloo looking to burst out of the into top mid here to force the CTs back. JDM once again, you got to be careful, caught with a smoke in his, well, just deploying a smoke, and that's going to be starting the push off for Tyloo.
Yeah, I think that re-pick was insane from him. He's fast, but he's not that fast. I think we've got a crossfire and a clip for the CTs, or we did, but Twist got decapitated. Stanislaw is still there, however. Elige with a 2K in the meantime. From Library, no less. That's not an easy position to get multi-frags from. Somebody's in the graveyard, and Stanislaw's been put 6 feet under, but somebody's on his own. 1 versus 2 to keep Liquid off of match points. I don't even know if they know where Elige is. Doesn't matter. Nitro's there as well. AWP to finish things off for Liquid.
Elige just saving Liquid in that round completely. I think, obviously, if he's smoked off, or if anything like that happens, then Tyloo have a very strong chance to win the round. So big plays from Elige. Keep Liquid in this one, but it could still go to another overtime. We have a decent buy here for Tyloo insofar as the utility, or rather, sorry, the weapons are concerned. But we can see Ventet's going to pick up some utility. I always would prefer to see anyone dropping the AK for Ventet here, just because he's just been so beast for the Tyloo side.
He's up there with 27 kills, but for his team, it's Mo leading the charge, tied by Twist, both on 31 kills for their respective teams. Match point, Liquid. It's been a long game so far. I would love to see more.
Yeah.
I would love to see more.
And we absolutely might. The only thing is that I feel like the best way, obviously, to approach Liquid setup is by using a lot of utility, and that's just not what they have. You want to get those smokes down, those flashbangs in, and then you get the big push on when the Orps can't see anything, and you just obscure the visibility. And we can see Nitro already getting a pick there towards Banana. That really commits Tyloo into this A-bomb site now. They have nothing, no vision, no presence towards B. They have to make these entries work. And there's another Orb in position. It's JDM. And there it is. He's going to connect the shot. Second one missed, though. Maybe there's a way in here. Somebody gets himself another headshot there. Elige falling towards Speedway. And all of a sudden, Tyloo!
Oh my god.
Again, that position is supposed to be so strong, the headshot angle, but heads are being popped, man.
And now Nitro is smoked off. There's a gap, though. There's a gap. The CZ. Can he get a 180 kill here? Charging into the site and looking for the upgrade. He's got it. 2 flashbangs. That's a lovely time from Nitro. Can he clutch it? No. Somebody will stop him.
What a sick round from somebody. 4K from him. Absolutely just going completely ham on everyone's face with that AK.
I do wonder though about the repeats from JDM there, where there's more than one player. He takes the first one down, but he goes back to the well when they've got the superior angle. It's 2 rounds where the repeat has gotten picked off where he could have repositioned instead. Yeah. So that's maybe something to wonder about. That's exactly where it was, and then a lovely snap onto Elige afterwards. And I wanted to note very quickly the difference, like playing that corner. in comparison, when Tyloo were on the CT side, they've mainly, I think, had somebody with the AWP inside the library position, which is less flexible, especially when a smoke goes down. 18 apiece, 3-2, somewhat standard setup, apart from JDM being very forward, missing the shot, however. Opportunity has come and gone. Tyloo already have control of the entire banana area with minute 30 on the clock, so that's something to hit.
Yeah, I like that play from JDM, trying to kind of get momentum almost immediately into the rounds. And there are ways to make that safe, and it's sort of made safe also just by the fact that you almost never have done it as well. So unfortunately you can't land a shot though. Would have been a big one, but alas. The thing is, well, I feel like Tyloo must realize as well that Liquid is going to the double up all the time. So again, you know, it's still very possible for them to try and just get themselves in position on B. And I think B is a very good choice against the double ops in this situation. If you get all the smokes down, you can get yourself those entry frags. Retaking with an open 2 rifles, that is going to be very hard. However, Nitro might even prevent them from taking the bomb site altogether.
Yeah, and that will be a distracting force because Elige is boosted up on the flower pots, and I'd be surprised if they look for him after that initial frag. Indeed, somebody running through, but Elige with the last bullet maybe, landing the headshot, working out for a while. They have possession of construction. Stanislaw creeping in. DD on his last bullet gets a kill, so that's some revenge there. 2 on 2. DD with 16 HP, control of construction, and both CTs coming in from CT.
And Bentes is the one that you want to have in this clutch situation as well. DD alone has picked up the AWP, that's smart, but looks like Bentet will be the victim of an AWP himself. But there's the trade, the repositioning coming in from DD now as he tries to suggest a repositioning all the way towards the pool side. What is he going to do here? He's looking at the wrong direction. This could be really unfortunate for DD. Indeed it is. Twist able to better him, outsmart him in this situation. I do like that DD committed there. He actually took a position where he's saying, I am just going to commit and just hope and pray that the opponent comes in this direction. I mean, he could take another position, yes, but whatever you do, as long as it's committed, that's the most important thing.
Everybody looking focused. Liquid in the lead. And that, again, that's a key. When you buy double ops on a CT side first round of overtime, you definitely want to win that first round in the numbers as well. So Liquid continuing with 2 towards B at the beginning of the round. They're going to have that third person to throw the smoke grenade and then rotate. They'll be content with 3. JDM's gone for a push for apartments as well with the AWP. Maybe a taste of Tyloo's medicine. We'll see who gets the dosage once they come through. For now, everybody's static. Who's the closest person? It's somebody. He's just waiting. He's just standing on a corner of the wall. Somebody's actually expecting somebody in apartments. That's a really hard sentence to say based on his name, but there's still no push just yet. Nitro boosted. They must have heard the scope. You can see Tyloo, they're looking for the boost. They're looking for plays towards that, looking for the boost. They seem to know everything that.
Yeah, and they've fallen victims to these kinds of plays before. Like, we can't forget how many rounds these guys have actually played at this point. Nearing on 40, so they've got some experience as to how Liquid are playing and vice versa as we get a defensive smoke from Liquid to slow down the push. But Tyloo may consider just holding up and pushing B at some point anyway. They don't have any presence towards top mid. And that's only more of an indicator, I would say, to Team Liquid that Tyloo aren't going to go A because they don't have presence there. And this is, so you can see they're making an information play right now. We've got Stanislaw pushing top mid, and Liquid need to rotate immediately. They probably should have rotated. Let's see if it's fast enough because in comes the push from Tyloo.
Elige charging out of nowhere. Always good for a second kill with Elige, but 3 very fast kills coming the way of Liquid. But there's a flank coming in on Banana from Stanislaw. He can stop the bomb from going down. There's no cover. There are 14 seconds left. How do they do it? Now they've got to win this duel. And indeed they will. The smoke's still down, but now it's gone. Twist opting for an off angle. Wants to stop them crossing. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. It's too late. It's too late. He missed the chance. He's standing in the fountain. You can't block in the fountain. That.
Feels bad. Feels bad for DD. And for the rest of Tyloo, that is a big 2-round lead at this point for Liquid. Second overtime. Will they be able to pull this one out the bag, or will we see Tyloo coming back in with some clutch power? I'm expecting a fast A play from Tyloo at this point. I feel like that is just just that pace, that turn of pace. Get Bented in there, get somebody in there, get DD in there in these positions where they can be very aggressive. Might be the change of pace that they need here to get back into the game.
JDM still aggressive. I think that was all the way down mid. He was in apartment for ages in the previous round, but eventually backed off towards the balcony, but still looking down the hall. Growing with confidence. Some Ares mode, God of War nonsense. Now he's holding an angle on Boiler. Everything getting quiet. Twist in this faithful position. Can't cover JDM from that angle though, so JDM really has to be careful with his repositioning. So that's a free kill for Tyloo. After losing the previous round in part to human error, that's a way back into the half. That balcony position still a problem, but JDM getting picked off towards short certainly helps. Stanislaw moving before shooting, but he won't miss a second shot. Bomb spotted as well, and he's got the angle back. The flashbang will force him away. He'll go for a timing shot, won't quite land it. And there is the another kill for him. I thought it was a bomb carrier, but no, it's Bentet carrying the bomb, going through the smoke, but nothing doing. 3 match points for Liquid.
Just one more round for Liquid, just one more. That's all they need to close this down and end the nightmare, which I feel like this could be a nightmare for them, or feel like a nightmare at this point, because I'm sure that they would have expected to have ended this game much earlier. So Tyloo, though, they seem like, if I'm not going to lie here, they seem like a bunch of fighters, man. They're fighting tooth and nail right now. They're scrapping as hard as they can to try to grind out these rounds, and no matter the situation, they're trying their best to get back into this one. And they're not, I mean, it's only 3 rounds. It's only 3 rounds. We've seen them do it on that T side. That CT side, sorry. So
You have to wonder though if they are brave enough to take the risks that somebody took on their previous City Calm. Now they're against 3 match points. Or Mo, he could really get something done with this spam if he finds the right angle. Did he see the boost? I think he did. Nitro gets taken down. Looking for the second player. The repeats are not working out for the Orpas most of the time, but they retain the man advantage. Second player rotating towards Banana. Somebody in apartments once again. Lovely stuff. Great to see.
That is one interesting thing that we can maybe go back to in a moment. The apartments and how it's changed on the new Inferno. Perhaps in the Asian Counter-Strike, you get much more apartments play from the CT side. You just don't, and we can explain that why in a moment, as we have Liquid up top middle now, looking for an entry back into the rounds. Tyloo, 2 members on the A site, and they are in proximity too, so they can help each other out. JDM looking for the pick here. This is very dangerous. JDM is the guy to open this one up. Misses the shot though, announces his presence. Out comes the Tech 9.
He's still going back. What's he doing? That's so dangerous. Didn't have time. Oh, DD, look at this positioning. This is exquisite. He's in CT spawn. He's by the well. But it's Twist. He's the thirsty one, looking for some water, but he will be left. It was a mirage. All that's there is rifles. So that's 1 of 3 tests out of the way for Tyloo. They keep the AWP into this round. They survive with 3 players. Liquid on the full rebuy. Twist will drop the AWP, and away they go. It is very interesting to watch the CT aggression from somebody, and if it will continue in each round.
No, absolutely, and it is like the apartments. It may be that in Asia you get a lot more play there, and the reason why CTs don't find success there, or why it's not as good as it used to be, is because the corridor is a bit more open and there's no bedroom to play off of, so it's just harder to run setups there, and also the windows is a bit more open as well on the balcony itself, so it's just generally a worse risk than it used to be for the CTs to try to make setups there. And well, Tyloo, they found some success in this match so far on it. Looking to try to take these angles towards top middle from Arch side. 4 members quick to respond towards A if needed for Tyloo at the moment, as Liquids are playing quite patiently, trying to see if there is to be any aggression. Perhaps fearful of somebody's antics.
JDM was left to have a look towards Banana. Nothing seen just yet. They know where the AWP is now, but they don't know if there's one or two. Team Liquid. JDM watching the bottom of mid. But it seems that the focus is A, and Bentet's rotating back towards the B bomb site. Maybe just in case, because DD is moving towards Banana, and now DD's made a successful push. Bentet's rotating back, and it looks like he might get back in time. That smoke will soon disappear on the arch position. Looking for somebody towards the graveyard, but it's HZ taken down towards the site. We've got flashbangs all over the place, but the frags are coming in for the T side.
This could be it right now for Liquid. They only need this round. DD's coming in faster from quad side. What can he do? What can he offer here for Ty Lu? It's just Mo to offer anything. He creates a 1 versus 3 for himself, but there's just too much to handle. And finally, Liquid will be able to make it happen, but it took 2 overtimes against Ty Lu.
22-19, that was some UFC level match of Counter-Strike. Quite the slobber knocker, and I really feel for Ty Lu because they had that round in overtime on their T side where they had a 2 versus 1. It was awkward though, people were low health, they had to cross back into the site. Twist had the angle, and they just waited too long to do it. Were stuck inside the fountain of the bomb and lost by a timeout. That was brutal, and that's, I think, made it too much to ask, going 0-3 in the first half and then facing 3 match points against Team Liquid. 22-19, I mean, what do we think about the performances?
I think from Ty Lu's perspective, it was excellent. I think you could really tell with Liquid they didn't expect to be challenged so much. Perhaps for them as well, they would have expected to do a lot better as they would go into this match thinking we're the much better team. We're going to get that 3-0, like we're going to get 3-0. It's going to get 3 wins straight away, and we can go home early. Or whatever that's the kind of mindset they're going to go into this with. But Ty Lu, one of the underdog teams, one of the unknowns, one of the teams which you wouldn't be expecting to see star-studded Counter-Strike from. They gave them they could have won that match easily, very easily. So yeah, that's I think a bit disappointing for Liquid, even though they won. But for Ty Lu, I mean, had they won this game, I think you would have seen that logo in the major, James.
Well, still more to play for. Over to Paul on the desk.
Thanks very much. And yes, game 3 in the books. We've played at least 90 rounds of Counter-Strike already, and we're only in game 3 of the day. Thank you for staying with us as well. Still got 5 more matches to go, but first off, let's break down game number 3, which was a tricky match, Jason, for Team Liquid. After you thought this should be
this
fine.
Was exactly as they planned it out heading
right.
into this. They had everything went their way.
Okay,
that was exactly what they wanted. Had them right where they
extra
wanted
practice.
Yeah, exactly. Just getting warmed up for the rest of the event. I mean, let's start. Twist was a beast.
Yeah, he was monster.
Yeah, on defensive side, he bailed him out of a bunch of different spots with his positioning towards pit. And then, I mean, just to point out the other end of the spectrum as well, Nitro had a couple big impact rounds, but largely there were stretches of this match where he was just kind of absent. But I think the big takeaway from this match is, yes, it was super close. If you're Liquid, you're going to look at this and you're going to say, listen, we're trying to qualify for the major. Who cares about the scores as long as we qualify, as long as we get those 3 wins? This doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. But if you're watching this game and you're thinking Ty Lu, this is a team that we've always known has the skill. And now that you can see a little bit more, they're starting to set up some of the plays that they want. It's not just kind of run around and try and find the kills. You can see they actually have a thought process and a game plan to what they're working with. This is a team that can be dangerous moving forward. I thought Bentet had a great game. Mo had a critical mistake early on, but bounced back and did phenomenal. This was a really tough game.
I accept what you're saying, but isn't it also fairly typical of what we've seen of Ty Lu over the last couple of years? We've seen some of that really high-level play, but also seen some pretty serious mistakes in their play too.
Yeah, what's really mind-blowing is that you can see in a time span of like 30 seconds of them playing really synchronized, going to the bomb site together, onto then just fall apart one by one. The remaining 2 on a bomb site are just going to dismantle that attack. No one able to refrag whatsoever. So that's like the mind-boggling thing about this Ty Lu team is that
it's frustrating for us as neutrals because we love watching them play because they're so exciting, but at the same time they're so maddening as well because you just kind of go, what are you doing now? I don't understand. This is a totally different team from the team that sat down 5 minutes ago.
As we have Aza here on the screen, I think that one of the big differences towards that A bomb side, if you compare these 2 teams on the CT side, is that as Jason was mentioning, Twist was having a great game playing on the balcony and playing in the pit. Not necessarily even getting like a massive amount of kills every time, but staying alive is a big part of it. Because that's always going to create a crossfire, this player on the bomb side, or he's towards the small pit, going towards the bomb side, and that's always going to be that much harder for the T's to be attacking, taking on the bomb side. On the other side of the spectrum was AZ, who was getting caught up by flashes, taken down instantly, and that's pretty much the bomb side loss at that point in time. So a massive difference there between these 2 teams was on that A bomb site.
I think the story of this game is going to be more about Tyloo just being that impressive, because yeah, in the past we've seen good things and we've seen some critical mistakes, but you know, when they were showing some danger at Malmo of last year, and you know, after that and around that time period, a lot of it was because they played this style that was like so different than anything we saw in the pro scene. Very passive defensive setup that was almost relinquishing so much map control, so you think there's no chance it should work, but teams just hadn't seen that kind of style in so long that it actually was effective. Now we're starting to see they've adjusted some of the current theory. I mean, I thought one thing they'd struggle with on their CT side is making that call when they've lost a bomb site to just bail out and save the weapon. CT side Inferno, it's extremely important, and we're seeing a lot of teams just bail out in 3-on-3s now, even if they don't have any kind of avenue back into the retake. They started doing that, so they're kind of, it looks like in certain situations, they're caught up to some of the theory.
There was some times though where it looked like they wanted to go. It was
Yeah,
almost
really
like Peacemaker somewhere behind them going, no,
Yeah, right.
come back.
They're like, remember what Peacemaker said yesterday?
It's almost like they had that mental check,
Yeah,
wasn't it? They were like, we normally would go in, wait, hold on, we're not supposed to do that anymore. Yeah, we'll come back out.
I mean, different situations, like, for example, you see in, like, they have the 3-on-3 situation on the B bomb site, then you see a guy just taking a white peak going for a straight-up duel. Luckily, he was hitting his shot, so he managed to capitalize. So those are the kind of things that they're a little bit iffy, you know, taking risks that you're not necessarily supposed to. But on the other hand, you also saw them recollect, think of what they were doing in retakes, like doing boosts over smokes, you know, really thinking through the kind of things, not just rushing the bomb site, but actually seeming like they had some plan or rule of thumb, you know, what have you, for certain situations, and slow things down before actually committing to the retake.
He's only had 2 days with them. It's not a huge amount.
No, there's not a lot
what can he do to help them?
I think most of what he probably does is, I mean, I imagine they would have to shrink down the map pool a little bit to focus on, and I think probably what he would focus on is, like, for instance, on a map like Inferno, one thing when I was watching this game that I thought Peacemaker might have had an impact on, because I haven't seen him in so long, is a routine to take banana control. Is like where you use your nades, where you double nade, where you put the smoke, the flashes you throw to pop flash, and make sure you get control of banana, because we saw Tyloo actually getting control of portions of the map before they went for that, like, typical, you know, what we kind of come to know from them is just that balls out attack onto a bomb site where they just never stop going forward, and they would actually take map control before that. So I'm assuming if I'm Peacemaker, that's kind of what I'm doing, is that early game, establish the map on the early portions of the game.
I'm going to stop you there because we have Twist waiting in the player area right now. Thank you for joining us, Twist, and firstly, congrats. You've had an MVP game yourself, obviously new to the team. How are things settling in for you?
Everything's going well. I'm very comfortable playing with this team, and they make me feel like I'm in a family, so it's nice.
A lot of people said they've brought you in for the longer term. They're looking for the future and young star bringing you in, but you're already making an impact. It must feel really good.
I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm just doing my role.
You're just doing what you're told.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. I've got a fellow North American alongside us. He's obviously impressed with your play so far. And what have you got to ask Twist?
Yeah, nice game. Well, I guess actually the only thing that comes to mind, this is a little bit of a silly question. Did you get your girlfirend a jersey? Yeah.
No, I haven't yet. I haven't gotten an extra one yet. So
that's the hard-hitting questions.
It'll happen soon.
Nice. What's been the big adjustment coming into this team before? I mean, you were in TSM and Misfits before this, so now that you're in a team that has a little bit more of like an established core of how they like to play, what's been the biggest adjustment for you from those two kinds of teams?
Biggest adjustment would be just there's more freedom on this team. Like, everybody can do whatever they want, and nobody will, like, get yelled at by a teammate for doing something bad. So that's how it was on past teams.
Do you like that compared, because you were under Sean, who was known to have a little bit more of like a regimented structure of whatever, like, set plays that everyone is doing, and that are you enjoying this freedom a little bit more?
I am, actually, but Sean did teach me like a lot of things before I went to this team, so it's
nice.
Good. Take it all together, I guess, and make it all good. Let's talk about the performance against Tyloo. You guys, you know, on paper, people will look at this and go, "Oh, Liquid, they've struggled there." But how was it for you in game?
Tyloo's actually really good. I was surprised, and I'm pretty sure all of us were surprised by like their play style and how good they were. So.
Yeah, a lot of people they find it hard to adjust to the Chinese teams when they play them for the first time. Peacemaker made the point that they play a little bit differently, but did you find that at all?
Yeah, actually. Like, I'm the halls player, and somebody kept just, like, running fast peeking me, like, deep halls with an op. I've never seen that before, ever, but I like it.
It's fun to play against.
Yeah.
Nato, you got anything?
No, I was going to talk about you had a great game playing halls and playing in that paid area and staying alive a lot of the time in situations where you're getting pressured. I mean, what was it like playing against Tyloo in that situation where, for me at least, you're the guy that needs to be alive in that situation? Were they giving you enough pressure, in your opinion? Was it easy?
I don't think they were pressuring me enough. It should have been harder for me to get the multi-kills that I did. They weren't clearing it properly when they were scaling up lane, so...
What is it like being I mean you're relatively inexperienced, especially compared to the other guys. What's it like competing to be a spot in the major and having a double overtime game? I mean, what are kind of like are you thinking about that aspect of it at all as a player?
No, it's actually crazy that I'm here qualifying for a major right now, but I'm pretty sure the pressure will like be added on like at the other games. Say like if we're 2-0 or yeah.
Are you gonna be 2-0?
I hope so.
That's the confidence we
There
like to
we
see.
go.
It's
like
a
that.
fairly non-committal answer, isn't it? It's not over the top, it's not cocky, it's not too...
It's the American dream.
Yeah, it's absolutely, it's good. Thank you very much for joining us, and we wish you well for the rest of your games. Congrats on the first game of the day, and I'm sure that will give you a bit more confidence as you move through the competition over the next 4 days.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Twist. There we go then, Team Liquid winning eventually, and Twist with an MVP performance as well there, Jason. You made the point, he's there for the long term, he's there for the future, but delivering already.
Yeah, I always describe Twist in like the NA scene. I always call him and like Sick as like the Lost Boys of the North American scene, because they had that phenomenal run at one of the ECS finals where they were taking teams to the limit on Cobblestone back when they were in TSM, and like those two played phenomenal. But after that, TSM didn't qualify for like a single event for months. So these two guys had this like breakout performance, but then you just never saw them afterwards. So it is good that he goes on to get Sean. He gets experience from Sean, and that's and now is in this Team Liquid team that is playing well and has Zeus as a coach, a lot of experience there. And it's that's kind of what you need when you bring in the younger players, especially in the North American scene. Leadership is so like there's barely any. So the fact that he gets to play for some time under Sean and learn from him, and now gets to go into Liquid and play under Zeus, and you know the experience that they have and the things they can teach him. This is like a perfect environment for this guy to break out and become the next star of North America.
Yeah. Final words for Tai Lu as they move on. Obviously they've started 0-1. They probably expected they might do that. Can they still break out? Can they still make the major?
Yeah, I mean, definitely they can. I don't think there's any indication from this game that they wouldn't have the opportunity, the chance. Definitely they do. Playing as tight as they did against Liquid. But I think one other thing that they must go through and think about is a lot of the afterplan situations also, because a lot the ones they won were more about individual, like Mo, for example, going massive, Benzet going big, that kind of stuff. Instead needs to be cohesion between the players, having the right angles and kind of joint decision making in those kind of situations that they need to also be putting effort into, because they put themselves in situations where they have the bomb down, they have the opportunity, but
yeah, it's almost like for the first 90 seconds of the round they know exactly what they're doing, but for the last 25 they have no idea.
It's the hard part to teach.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, no, it's a lot about intuition.
But if they play like they did against Liquid here, I think they're going to be a challenge for some of the other teams that are trying to qualify. I'm not going to say they're going to qualify, but I mean I think that made me a little bit more promised for what they're going to look like against some of the other weaker competition in the qualifying.
Liquid, on the other hand, obviously start off with a 1-0. They would have hoped to do that, obviously looking at the way that they've drawn that out. Of the three teams that you've gone through, who've impressed you so far the most?
That's actually a really good question. I'm always, I don't know if it's because I'm going to say Immortals here, even in a loss, but just because I'm always I've never really been high on them since they lost, or since FNX joined the team, since they lost Phelps to SK. I've never really been like that. I've never felt that excited about them, and so every time I see them kind of play well with KNG coming in, I always just feel a little bit better about Immortals, as crazy as that sounds.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, not much to go by yet, really. Again, I'm going to wait to finish flag and say Penta a little bit, because they were in a
that's a good
they were in a pretty rough situation.
I love the fact that you've just latched on to this team now, because they've got 2 Finnish players and a Finnish coach. So you're claiming Finland.
I get the bias. I get the bias. Yeah, I mean, I get that.
He did play with Sonny.
No, he did.
Former teammate.
And
Nasu as well.
Nasu.
Yeah. So there we go. But yeah, I mean, they, even though their body language wasn't exactly showing excitement in a situation where they were broken in money, they were down in the later stages of the match, still managing to capitalize.
I once saw
with the
Sonny
right
smile,
rounds.
by the way.
Yeah, you did?
I did. I saw him smile once.
Oh, he's a sunny guy.
Yeah, it was during the minor. And he won a clutch, and I saw him smile.
For a Finn, that's quite something, eh?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I was blown away.
Fair enough. Hard-hitting segment.
So where are we going with this next?
To a break.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll finish at the desk right now. We'll end up on that high note as we send it off to a break. Of course, we've still got more matches to come. Next up is a very interesting matchup. I'm looking forward to this one. Both teams have played at the Major in various forms in the past, of course. Godsent looking for their 2nd time in a row at the Major, and Dignitas as an organisation looking for their 6th Major. They go head-to-head after the break.
Coming up next, Godsend versus Dignitas.
E-gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours.
ебашка, блядь. Да ну на. ущербная, блядь. Давай, сука, резче, блядь. Я не тебе, кот. Чё ты-то возмущаешься? Чего? Чё такой возмущенный, котяра? Котярка! Котярка, матярка. Котярка, матярка. Котярка, матярка. Котярка, матярка. Ну давай, сука, блядь. Что так долго?
Let's roll. This is what to trade for. Throwing a grenade. That makes two left. Sniper. Grenade out.
Вот хуйло лагучее, блядь.
At the entry point. Stop shooting me. Good one.
Иди нахуй, да он.
What's your status? Throwing fire.
Долбоёб. Раки, сука. Раки, сука.
Здорово, ребята.
Здорово.
I go long.
Яло.
Я говорю.
I go B.
Это БК.
It's B.
Да бош.
Nice, man. It's B, it's B.
А есть в чем?
Tunnel. Oh, fuck. Minus 24.
Понял.
He's left. It's left, man. It's fuck. No, man. Oh, it's funny, Deagle, man.
I go B. Is our day. Throwing smoke.
This one. Ah. This one. Cheats. One guy is cheater. Maybe. It's don't.
Flashbangs.
Ah, it's scout. Scout. Don't push. We need to go. behind.
Throwing flashbang.
Yeah, it's bad flash, sorry. Don't go.
Deploying flashbang.
Don't push.
Nice, man.
Да где, блядь, хоть один?
It's easy. It will be easy, man.
Блин, на первых сильверах так классно играть.
Чего?
На первых сильверах так классно играть, но по сути я четвертая новая, но у меня этот аккаунт был краден и нету ранга, и сейчас...
Да реально всем похуй, а?
Тише, не бомбите, ребят, давайте закончим. Будем...
Don't speak.
Don't speak. Speak. One.
Don't fight, great ones.
There's one. No, it's run away. Okay, sorry.
Ой, ласт какая.
Nice.
Let's get this over with. Laying down smoke. Grenade. Throwing flashbang. Let's go, people.
He's falling, maybe.
Nice.
Лол. Мне кажется, они сдались уже давно.
Да сейчас сдадутся.
Я тоже люблю.
Ну да, типа я фиг знаю. Ну даже не знаю. Ну типа мы сейчас тупо будем время тратить зря, то что они даже не сдаются. Это тупо с ножиком можно к ним бежать, блять, на базу. Хотя нет, что-то еще вроде активно. Мид?
No, he's clear mid.
Мид был. Темка нижняя может быть. Или что?
Nice.
Найс. У них калаши-то хоть есть? Ну то хоть калаш хочется подосрать.
Я себе заберу.
Блять, изи, катка, вторая подряд, блять, уже. Чё такое? До этого сука так потел.
На сильверах ты потел?
Ну, блять, я не потел, мне тупо, блять, короче, такая фигня была. Максимальный пинг в играх искал под 150, вот что было. Я сейчас поставил, типа, пинг 50, тупо максимально, меня больше не лагало. Типа, я не потею.
45. Все.
Вот про это я сейчас говорю. Вот тупо лаг. Не потому что план.
Short.
Let's go plant to A. Run, man.
Bomb has been planted.
Deploying flashbang.
Кто там 40 хитнут лагеря, блядь? Не понял, ну-ка давай еще раз.
Пит, ёбана в рот.
Да пофигу.
Save MVP, run! Save MVP, man! Run!
Да у него 100 хп, он выживет.
Ну выживет, блядь, но все равно надо было отбежать. Бля, дайте мне килла, а то я так позорюсь. Господи.
Это просто я в первый раз умер, вот и игра у них зашла.
Да пиздец, как мы без тебя делали?
Да вообще.
Не прыгай тут, блядь.
Ничего себе, ты мощный. Би.
Понятно.
Зашли. Блять, я слепой убил. Охуеть. Бомба.
Speak English, man. What?
Yeah, I remember. Ну, у кого, короче, АВП еще есть? Sorry. One more there. Low tunnel. Fucking noob. Бля, вот это я нуб.
What?
Бомбу прочекал.
Короче,
За
это
боксом.
туннель.
За боксом проверь.
Nice.
Засейвить АВП? Бля, ну оно в нижней темке лежало, бля, ладно.
Могу дать кому? Это могу дать.
Да не надо, я засейвить хотел.
Окей, ладно.
Бля, у меня такой голос мой был сейчас. Бля.
Такого слова в жизни, такого грустного не слышал. Сколько грустной интонации.
Что?
Where?
Они играть начали. Спаун, стоят два там. Под, ну, у меня грустный голос, блядь, потому что у меня 11 класс впереди.
Охуенный флеш.
Двое, блядь, они выйдут. Ура, киллы поперли.
Там, походу, реально это сервер играет.
Найс.
25 секунд.
Да, вот там мне фраги, ты тоже такой, блядь, все охуели, да? Сам виноват, быстрее беги. Стой, спал, наверное. Сзади. Прям впереди тебя стоит.
Сзади, прям впереди тебя.
Я пронервничал, эти пизда.
Ты как муравей, блядь, всякую хуйню несешь.
Так, тише, не перегибай. Да это вы чё, взяли быстро перерыв, вы чё? Охуеть. Так, стоп. Ну-ка скажи, кто это еще раз был? Я с тобой хочу поиграть.
Кто со мной?
Вон.
Counter-terrorists win.
Фанни, Дигл. Пошли следующую катку катать.
Не, я сейчас поеду, на работу надо съездить.
А, ты нас тобой.
Дядя, а вам сколько лет?
Захуя.
Я тоже как бы работал. Мне как бы только 17, остальная флот.
Все, иду помогать.
Все, пиздец.
Спасибо.
Пизда, скатились.
Зачем платить?
Лагучий пидор. Их лагает, я попасть не могу, пиздец. И руками хуярит.
Их лагает? Охренеть, как у них лагает. Прям вот Вася.
Я, конечно, могу попробовать с дигла походить,
Они просто
но...
дергаются, да, я тоже с дигла убивать. Они дергаются, это вообще жесть.
Я видела, как положила.
Смотри, сейчас дигла буду чуть убивать. Дяденька учит с грустным голосом. Все потому, что просто впереди ЕГЭ. Смотри, охуенный флешечка залетает оранжевый. Смотри, зацени. А, ты сдох уже. Мне оставь, дай мне тоже скушать. Да тише. Тарас, ну чё вы творите? Дайте мне АФК на 3 минуты уйти.
Сейчас на зум буду их хуярить.
Зажми мне на 3 минуты, надо уйти. Да ебану в рот. Кто прожимает? Нет. Ой, мне сказал. Че я так на последнем месте того? Изи.
Охереть, только 2 человека играют. Мама родная.
Я он по...
Let's go, let's go!
Ну ничего, они все на А. Так нечестно.
Минус 85 на лонге. Просто.
Лом, скилл.
Минус 85, 15 хп у него. Прошел, наверное, уже запуш. Я на АФК 2 минуты.
Terrorists win.
Go, go, go! Throwing fire! Grenade! We have stopped them all. Flashback! Throwing a flashback!
Я вернул.
Blessing.
Bomb has been planted.
Throwing fire!
Terrorists win.
С Нигером и все играют у них.
We will defeat the mercenaries.
Смотри, охрененная флешка. Шорт.
Terrorists win.
Найс. Себе разыграл.
Our win brought us victory.
Touch